Mm. Nothing like good lemonade to start a brand new episode of Dylan Knows. I've successfully passed the mark of the beast. And now we're on the flip side of that as we start edging more towards 700. This is episode 667, Revenge of Heat Dome. And yes, as you can see on my face, I'm extraordinarily happy and excited that we have a fucking heat dome that's going to drop on us beginning of July. And I kind of recall all you fucking summer lovers who were screaming at us, oh, all you people who are complaining about the winter can't complain about summer, blah, blah, blah. You can't have it either way. Yeah, we can fucking have it either way. Winter is much better than this fucking bullshit that's coming our way. I mean, it's going to be a terrible heat dome, according to preliminary reports, upwards of 105, 110 degree temperatures here in Maryland. And it just so happens that my wife and son are going camping this weekend. So the tail end of their week is going to be this shitty weather. So thanks a lot, all you fucking summer lovers. Why don't you suck on it? You're supposed to love this shit. Why don't you go out and enjoy it? Go out and jump out in it and run around and dance when it's 110 fucking degrees. So fuck right off with your hatred of anything colder and stuff like that. Fuck you, dickheads. All right, got that out of my way. I fucking despise summer, and this is the main reason why. Now, I'm hoping the way things have been going lately, it's been kind of a coolish sort of tail end of spring and early summer, around regular temperatures, and then after this fucking heat dome goes away, we get back to regular temperatures. Let's hope that this is all we're going to see, this bullshit, because it's absolute bullshit is what it is, particularly with my danger to my wife and son and the campers who are all at this summer camp. Everybody out there who is enjoying this fucking summer weather, fuck off. I can complain about this fucking weather, and I can complain about the winter too if I want to, if it's too fucking cold or too icy or too snowy. But to be honest, I'd rather have a fucking freezing cold day because I can wrap my shit up in more layers than I need to. And this bullshit, I can't do anything except sweat to fucking death and not sleep. So fuck you, all you summer lovers. Fuck off. And that's particularly more aimed at the people who are bitching about how, winter people, shut your mouth when it comes to weather because you're complaining about how bad winter is, but you can't complain about how bad the summer is. Whatever. Fuck you. I'm manifesting cold weather with my shirt today. So what do we got besides fucking heat dome this week? It hasn't actually happened. Won't be happening until Thursday. Wednesday will start getting warm, but Thursday and Friday are going to be the worst days of it. 4th of July starts to get a little bit better, which is good. 4-day weekend, 4-day week coming up. We're off Friday, July 3rd. This is the last episode of Dylan Knows in June till 2027. So that's interesting. We're moving into the later half. We've got over the hump day. Now we're in the later half of the year. But it's the worst fucking time of the year with this fucking heat dome bullshit. So fuck off. All right. But here's the funny thing. We've got 4th of July coming up. So there's some 4th of July stories in here. But there's also Halloween and Christmas stories in here as well this week. Not of my making. It just so happens that this is stuff that's comes up about it. Yeah, so that's what's going on. So crazy week this week. So let me see if I can layer down everything. The biggest things is I'm almost tempted to play a song on here to get YouTube to come yell at me about copyright because I've been yelling at YouTube for 2 days now and they haven't responded to me about how I can no longer move my playlists around on my phone. I have to go to the computer and it's clunky and sucks like that. It used to be so much easier where I could just get on my phone. If I want to switch the playlist, my playlist around a little bit, I could just zoom it up and down and whatever. And it was so much easier. Now I just can't even do that. And it's fucking ridiculous and stupid that I'm not allowed to do that. And then I ask, hey, what can you do to help? How do you do it? And they're like, this is how you do it. You do what I was doing and it's not working. And they are not answering or even helping me in any way. So fuck you, YouTube, for not helping out either. I know you got me doing my show here, but why don't you help me out here? I've been talking to your support people. They've been doing nothing but bitching and moaning and not even saying anything to me. So can we get that fixed, please? Fucking bullshit is what it is. There's so much fucking changes. That changed, and now I can't also, this has been going on for about this year so far. I can't change the picture on my when I start the show. I think I can change it later on, but I don't want to have to go in and do all that bullshit. It's a bunch of stupid stuff. So we had that. What else going on? My son hasn't been sleeping well the last couple nights. I think he's anxious about upcoming camping and the heat because he hates the heat as much as I do. And he says his stomach hurts. He's also a little bit of a what do you call it? An insomniac. Someone who thinks they're sick all the time. Hypochondriac. That's what it is. Hypochondriac. He now thinks he has insomnia because he hasn't slept the last 2 days. And, you're not sleeping, but it's not insomnia. It's just you're hot and you're anxious and you're tired and stuff like that. So hopefully he'll sleep okay tonight. That would be very, very nice if he could. What else? My daughter threw up at work on Friday, so I had to drive her home, but she felt a whole lot better when she got home. So she slept a little bit, was able to eat some stuff and keep it down. Then she went out and spent the night at her friend's house. And the friend said she was going to drive her back home Saturday morning. She did. So I had to go get up and get her at 10 a.m. and bring her home. And then I had to take her down to UMBC because it was StellarCon this week or this Saturday at UMBC's place. It's a anime, comic book, fantasy, just all that type of genre stuff, sort of convention. My daughter's gone to it twice. It's been on the campus twice, once in November and here in June. So it's November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June. So like every 7 months, it seems like it'll pop up. So I took her to UMBC, picked her up, and now she's at a party now with some friends of hers. Hopefully she'll be home soon. She said she will be home today. Tomorrow, after my wife and son leave for summer camping for a whole week, my daughter and I are going to go see Supergirl at the movie theater, go to Cold Stone Creamery and try the kettle corn ice cream that is part of the Supergirl ice cream sundae. And then I'm going to go get some insomnia cookies from Towson that are also Supergirl related. We were going to try to go to KFC, but there's none really in our area. So we're just going to have Chinese food in the end. And that's my Sunday for the most part. What else happened? I feel like I'm missing some big things here. It's just been kind of a shitty week so far this week. So hopefully next week will be a little bit more calmer, except for the fucking heat dome, which I don't want to talk about anymore. Fuck you, heat dome. And fuck you, YouTube, for not helping me with getting my playlist done. So whoever's watching this to make sure I'm not going to this, please help me get my fucking playlist done on my phone. I'm sick of having to come here because I hate doing it on my computer. This week has also been a strange one for earthquakes. We've had 4, actually 5 technically, in the Pacific Rim all in one day, all differing magnitudes, but still kind of interesting to see that. And then a few more came out over the last couple days. So on June 24th, there was the big ones, the 2 back-to-back horrible Venezuela ones, which is absolutely devastated Venezuela. A 7.5 and a 7.2 hit that. I think thousands of people are dead on there, which is awful how terrible those were. Next up, we have Japan with a 6.9 earthquake. Again, all on the same day. California had a 5.6 as well, and Papua New Guinea had a 5.4 all on the same day. So it was crazy. And then we'll talk about the ones that were recently over the last day or two. We had a couple more in the same general areas. So a lot going on there. This isn't good. This isn't a good look for A24. A24 has always been sort of this independent movie company. I'm still mad at them that they buried We Live in Time, which is one of my favorite movies of all time, and they just buried it. It should have made a ton more money, should have got a bunch more Oscar noms and other award nomination stuff, because Florence Pugh and Andrew Garfield are absolutely phenomenal in this movie, and I don't understand why they did what they did, but they're looking into a partnership with an AI company, which is really pissing off a lot of the filmmakers who are anti-AI and actors and stuff like that. So look for A24 to start disappearing soon, despite having all these irons in the fire. If they're going to start really getting into this, people are going to stop working with them. our first look at Netflix's animated Ghostbusters Night Shift cartoon. They've been talking about this since the first reboot of Ghostbusters happened, and now it's finally going to happen. It's out in 2027. It looks like creepy enough. Looks a lot different than the real Ghostbusters, so it should be a different look and should be interesting. I'll take a look at it when it drops in 2027. Here's the first sort of fallish sort of news to get you into the mood. Practical Magic 2 trailer dropped. The second one, tell a little bit more about the story. It looks good, looks decent. I'm probably going to take that day off since I'm not being able to take this week off like I usually do. If my daughter wasn't working with me, I would have taken this upcoming week completely off, and I would have watched all the movies like I did last year. I watched a ton of movies last year, and now I'm disappointed I won't be able to do that this week because I'll be working most of the day, and I got fucking Heat Dome to deal with. But I do have my daughter, and we are going to watch some movies. We're also got other plans going on, so it won't be quite as many, but we'll watch some. So we'll see what happens. But man, I wish I just had a week where there was nobody here and I could just watch movies. That was wonderful last year, except for the end when I pinched my nerve and it was miserable at 4th of July. Won't happen this time, hopefully, knock on wood. Jasmine Amy Rogers will be leading a Sound of Music revival on Broadway. Now, what's going to cause all the incels and racist piece of shit upsetting? She's a black woman playing the role of, oh my God, the white nun, Julie Andrews from Sound of Music. How dare they get woke and put a black singer actress into Sound of Music? Fuck off, you stupid fucking incel Heat Dome loving bullshit assholes. Racist, misogynist piece of shit. She'll probably do good, and it's good to have revival Sound of Music. We haven't had a revival Sound of Music on Broadway in a long time, so that's pretty good. One of my favorite Oreos is coming back. Cinnamon Bun Oreo is back, supposedly back now, so I was going to go down to Walmart today to take a look and see if they were there, but I got caught up in other stuff. I might try to go down before I go see Supergirl tomorrow because I got stuff and errands I'm going to run. I got to go to Insomnia Cookies tomorrow, as I already said, so I'll check that out, see if I can find that as well. Ponies was canceled after one season. Not terribly expected. A lot of these shows only last one season nowadays. They seem decent, have good cast, and then it just doesn't do very well. Amy Adams saved a stabbing victim by using tips she learned when she was on a medical drama TV show, which only lasted about 9 episodes, but they taught her some tips about that. She helped save a stabbing victim, so good on Amy Adams. Batman Nightfall is going to be done in a trilogy of animated movies for DC Animation, which kills it all the time. We got our first trailer for it, so looks interesting. Nightfall is an interesting storyline, and it makes perfect sense to have it as a trilogy, so no issues with that. Here's our 4th of July news. Rita's 4th of Gelati. It has blue Italian ice, vanilla custard, red Italian ice, and they do it again, and then it's topped with firework glitter. That sounds actually pretty decent, and I might have to check that out as well. There's a lot of animation news coming up today. The WB Animation did a lot of news. We'll talk about that in a second. But here's another A24 thing. Timothée Chalamet and The Rock are set to star in Breakthrough for A24 and Darren Aronofsky. So definitely a decent director, and get The Rock trying to get his way out of his typical zone. And, of course, Timothée Chalamet, who's still a douchebag for what he said about ballet and dance and stuff like that. Go fuck himself and his Heat Dome loving ways. Here's the first animated story. Ray Gun, which is Brad Bird's non-Pixar movie. It's like a film noir sort of thing with voices starring the awesome Sam Rockwell and the very good and awesome and beautiful Scarlett Johansson. Is set to hit Netflix on December 18th, the day of, Doomsday and Dune 3. So that's interesting to see that. But it's going to be on Netflix, so you can go see Doomsday and then watch the movie on Netflix. I don't see why people are like, oh, why are you dropping it on the same day? Well, you go to the movie and then to either Dune 3 or Avengers or both, and then come home and you can watch Ray Gun on TV. Not that hard. Dutton Ranch, one of these Yellowstone spinoffs, whatever, got renewed for a second season. Yippee skippy, hooray! Jesse Eisenberg is set to direct The Debut, a musical comedy with Julianne Moore. First look at Genndy Tartakovsky's Conan animated series. That's another animated thing. So it should be interesting to see a Conan animated series. Another animated story trailer for the second season of Batman Caped Crusader on Prime, set to debut July 31st. That's the precursor to Batman animated series written by not Paul Dini, but the other guy. I forget his name, but he was the one who's the showrunner on that one. Shifters, which is a hit play, is going to be turned into a TV series. Another animated story. Invincible is renewed for a 6th season. Trailer for a new anime adaptation of One Piece set to debut February 2027 on Netflix. Supposedly, they are just redoing the One Piece anime, but they're excising all the extraneous bullshit and just doing tighter storylines and then reorganizing them and rebroadcasting them on network TV as original films, so TV series. So we'll see. But the first trailer for that came out. Bradley Whitford and Tom Bly are set to star in A Few Good Men on Broadway. Surprisingly enough, Bradley Whitford is going to play is going to play the Jack Nicholson role. Shaolin Soccer spinoff Kung Fu Soccer is in the works. Millie Brady and Pilu Asbak have joined Wyatt Russell's Monsterverse TV show. Elizabeth Banks is set to play the live-action Miss Frizzle in a live-action Magic School Bus movie. And local news, Kyle Youmans as the new voice of the Baltimore Ravens. We lost our guy. He retired, and now we have a new one. Deaths this week, Jeff Olson, a visual effects artist, passed away this week. Steve Zabel, NFL player, died at the age of 78. Anniversaries, Sonic the Hedgehog debuted 35 years ago this week. And N64 and Super Mario 64 debuted 30 years ago this week. Oh, boy. So this is kind of interesting. There was a early 1980s, like sort of action sort of type film called Warriors. Warriors, can you come out and play? That has a cult following, but was never a real big hit or whatever. Well, apparently, it sparked something in none other than Lin-Manuel Miranda, who will be teaming up with Elsa Davis, who are going to be doing a Broadway version of Warriors, set to debut on Broadway March 2027. What? Lin-Manuel Miranda of Hamilton fame and Tick, Tick, Boom is doing a Warriors musical. Is it going to be like West Side Story with two gangs singing to each other? I can't make comments because Lin-Manuel Miranda is a genius. He's pretty decent at stuff. He did Moana's original song, stuff like that. So we'll see. Sean Kaufman is set to appear in the Daniels film with Matt Damon. The casting is starting to come together here for that movie, so it's going to start filming here soon. What We Do in the Shadows, the cult classic vampire TV series, is set to be getting a sequel in the works. The Dink trailer, we get our first look at the pickleball sports movie, Yippee, with Jake Johnson on Apple TV, July 24th. Dan Trachtenberg, who directed the two most recent Predator movies, is set to direct an animated. See, this is animated is the word of the day today. The word of the day for this week. Direct an animated film based on the graphic novel Freddy the 13th, about a man who accidentally kills the boogeyman that has to take over for him, i.e., like the Santa Claus, but in this case, it's the boogeyman. Zoe Kravitz, Sadie Sink, and Troy Baker are set to star in a Netflix immersive game called Unhinged, where you control the action. It's set to debut on Tuesday, June 30th. Basically, it's a horror film sort of game where the actors do something and they tell you it's like a choose your own adventure, and you use your remote control to choose for you. And it's an interesting idea, so we'll see if it actually works. An ESPN analyst had their arm amputated his name was Matt Miller, after a car accident. Ugh, cannot even imagine that. More local news. Ravens training camp is set to start by the end of July. Rookies are supposed to report on July 24th, with the veterans reporting on July 28th. The Devil Wears Prada 2, which was a fantastic film, is set to hit streaming and Blu-ray on the same day, July 29th. So that's pretty cool. Excuse me. Another animated story. We got our first look at Netflix's new anime, Full Night. Craig Gillespie, who directed the Supergirl movie, is set to direct Homewreckers with Glenn Powell. It's an erotic, twisty sci-fi thriller. The erotic twister making a comeback. There's a couple. I mentioned one, I think, last week, and there's a couple coming in this week. A trailer for Life, Larry, and the Pursuit of Unhappiness, which came out yesterday on HBO, came out this week. It's his version of American History in time for the 250th anniversary. We got our first teaser for Digger, the Tom Cruise film, which, as I've been saying since last Oscars, will get him the Oscar for Best Actor in the upcoming Oscars. That's my prediction. I'm betting he wins Best Actor. We get our full trailer for it on July 13th. But the teaser we got for it, we see and hear Tom Cruise doing a character. He's got the old Southern oil baron sort of voice. He's a little heavy. So he's kind of doing sort of what he did for Tropic Thunder. So that's another reason why he's going to win the Oscar for Best Actor next year on the Oscars. Mark it again. Red Bull is teaming up with McDonald's for a series of drinks. Okay. Our first look at David Tennant in Only Murders in the Building, the new season filming in England right now. Exposure is another psychological sexual thriller picked up by Warner Brothers. Hasn't been cast yet, but that's the third one we've seen over the last two weeks. Forgotten Island trailer set to debut on September 25th from DreamWorks. Has very good robot vibes, so it looks pretty decent. It sucks. I drank this all the first 25 minutes of the show. Let me talk to us. We got our first teaser for the next. We got a teaser for the next Blair Witch Project movie. It's a reboot, a remake, whatever. Set to debut September 24th, 2027. So a year and a half away. They haven't even made it yet. July 23rd, 2026, Stuart Fails to Save the Universe debuts on HBO Max. Lily James set to star in Seasons, a horror film. Keanu Reeves is set to star in a live-action Lego hybrid film. So that should be kind of interesting to see what they do with that. I'm going to get this probably next weekend, next Friday, but the Webberoni Pizza from Little Caesars are teaming up with Spider-Man Brand New Day. Like last year, they had the Fantastic Four pizza boxes. Now they have Spider-Man pizza boxes. I think I took a picture of it. I need to post it on my Instagram. South Korea got eliminated from the World Cup. All right. Not that I've been watching the World Cup. It's still interesting to see what we can see. Yeah, see if you can get a good view at them. There's a Spider-Man. That's a bit better. Either way, it's not really that good, but there's a Spider-Man one. So they're doing that for the next few months, and they're doing a Webberoni pizza, which is kind of like chopped up pepperoni, but spread on the pizza to look like webs. Probably take a little longer, but should be really cool looking. Krispy Kreme is really jumping into this, doing something like for every type of holiday you can think of. They have a 4th of July collection of donuts. Of course they do. They look actually pretty decent too. Anniversaries, the big one, the one that changed everything. Tim Burton's Batman debuted 37 years ago this week. White Chicks debuted 22 years ago this week. Pocahontas debuted 31 years ago this week. And The Rescuers debuted 49 years ago this week. Deaths, we have Albert DeMarco Jr., an NHL player. Jim Mitchell, an NFL player, both passed away this week. The Great White, a legal workplace drama for ABC, cast Hugo Weaving, which is really interesting, and Miranda Otto they worked together in Lord of the Rings. But also we have Sasha Harlow, Eamon Fannin, Arlo Green, Bridget Zengin, James Majokis, Emily Bordy, and Danella Penera. So that's going to come up. Lady Macbeth novel is set to get a movie adaptation. I guess it's Macbeth from the perspective of Lady Macbeth. Grillu Skur, a Norwegian puppet ghost story, reveals its first trailer. Netflix Gears of War film will be an origin story for Delta Squad. So fans of the Gears of War video games will be getting a origin story on Netflix. Reese's Pieces, which has not really changed anything since 1982 when they were brought out to take the place of M&M's, when M&M said, we're not going to be in a Stephen Spielberg movie called E.T. And Reese's Pieces says, we'll do it. And they haven't changed anything until now. We're going to get our first ever chocolate cookie where the inside is going to have crunchy chocolate cookies instead of, I guess I'll still have the peanut butter around it, I guess. So you have a little bit of combination of that. Thundercats animated series is going to pop up from WB Animation, new series like that. David Dastmalchian and Leah Kirkpatrick are reimagined horror henchmen in new comic book accessories. The search is underway for Gracie the giraffe, who escaped her Texas ranch, has been on the run now for 2 weeks, and breaking news, she was picked up yesterday and discovered after 2 weeks. First look at Insectarama, a new stop-motion film from Netflix. When they signed Guillermo del Toro to develop other stop-motion animation films, they weren't kidding. This is like the third or fourth one from another country that's been airing on Netflix. They've been doing pretty decent. A&W Root Beer Float. A week after we tried the mug of Vanilla Howler, we're getting the actual A&W Root Beer Float flavored soda, set to debut July 13th, same day as Digger. So we'll see about that. Oreo keeps going crazy also. They have a summer carnival series of cookies, which I think you can only get online. But the flavors, basically, it's an Oreo, regular Oreo, that is covered in flavored cream. And some of the flavors are just absolutely disgusting. Hot honey cornbread, dill pickle, milkshake and fries, lemonade, cotton candy, strawberry shortcake. So those are the different flavors that are covering the actual Oreo cookie. Again, I think you can only get them online at the Oreo online store. The actors who are voicing the characters in the animated series Mr. Miracle from Tom King will also do the live action versions of those characters if and when they make an appearance in the live action DC universe. Hallmark Channel has always been big about doing their Christmas movies and have made themselves hugely popular because of them. About 2 years ago, they decided they were going to jump into the Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce love affair and decide to do a series of movies every year, not a series, one movie every year based around an NFL team. So the first one obviously was a Chiefs Hallmark Christmas movie. And it wasn't like about the Chiefs. It was about a Chiefs fan who finds love and whatever small town bullshit that Hallmark does. Last year, they did the Buffalo Bills Christmas Hallmark movie. And this year, they're doing Chicago Bears, the Bears holiday romance for Hallmark will be the football team that gets that. Are they going to do all 32 teams? Be pretty cool to see a Ravens Hallmark Christmas special, to see how they actually make that up. I could do that. Let me think about that. It can't be that hard to write a Hallmark film, can it? Local news also. Oh, yeah, that was the other thing I was missing. Yep. So here's some other stuff I was missing. I had acid reflux at the beginning of this week, and I still don't know where it came from or how it happened or why it happened. And it was just kind of disgusting for about a day and a half. So I was pissed off about that. And then the YouTube not letting me reorganize my playlist. I'm still pissed about that too. Oh, yeah, and a fucking heat dome is coming also. Oh, wait, I keep mentioning that as well. Sorry. We also had something really cool happen. This week is Fleet Week down at the Inner Harbor in Baltimore. So that means that the Blue Angels of Naval Academy's elite flying people are going to do an air show. They probably did it yesterday or today. Today is Saturday still. But this year, because of the 250th anniversary, I guess they have a bunch of tall ships downtown, and they also have different countries bringing their airplanes to do part of the air show. There's a French one and the English one. So where I work at, me and my daughter work at right now, we are on a path because we're not that far from Baltimore City. We are on a flight path for them. So on Thursday, we were working, and all of a sudden it sounded like thunder was rumbling, but it was sunny out. And we're like, oh, I know what this is. And then it just kept happening the whole rest of the day. And it happened into tomorrow, but it was just kind of cool to have them flying overhead this week as well. The U.S. World Cup team has advanced to the next level. Disney created a pilot for a TV version of their mermaid film, Aquamarine. We haven't had a good mermaid show or film in a while. Francois Arnaud, and David Cornsweet and Yvonne Strahovski are set to perform the 3 Days of Rain on Broadway. Michael Gandolfini has joined the cast of the Daniels movie, which I talked about earlier with someone else. First poster for The Wait, Ethan Hawke and Russell Crowe film set to debut on September 18th. Lizzie Kaplan is set to join the cast of FX's anthology Far Cry, based on the video game from Noah Hawley. Donkey from Shrek, voiced by Eddie Murphy, will be getting his own solo film set to debut June 30th, 2028. Nina Dobrev and Paul Wesley, who teamed up in Vampire Diaries, are reteaming for You Deserve to Know, a rom-com on or a rom-com drama or something like that on Hulu. Anniversaries: Purple Rain, the album, released 42 years ago this week. Grown Ups debuted 16 years ago this week. Deaths this week: we had Harold Wheeler, Dancing with the Stars musical director and Tony winner, died at the age of 82. David Clayton Thomas, lead singer of Blood, Sweat, and Tears. I don't think I know any Blood, Sweat, and Tears songs. Let me see. And YouTube, if you can't fix my playlist thing, I will play this live and you guys will get screwed. Blood, Sweat, Tears. Revenge, Future Mob, Backstreets. Spinning Wheel. What? I don't know Spinning Wheel. Yeah, I don't know Blood, Sweat, and Tears. None of these songs look familiar. But hey, he passed away, which is terrible. Luis de la Rosa Obregon, a Vancouver actor, voiceover actor, was also a special animated animation effects sort of person as well, who worked on My Little Pony and Across the Spider-Verse, died in a train accident at the age of 34. Hey, look, more animated stuff. This time it's from the WB. WB announced a crypto animated series, a superpowers animated series, which is going to be a more children-oriented DC superhero animated series. Absolute Batman animated series. And a new anime series starring the Joker called Joker Laugh Riot. I'm not the biggest fan of the Joker, and Absolute Batman is okay, I guess. It's one of those things where it gets way overhyped and people are hyping it like it's the greatest thing on earth, and so it automatically colors me. It could be one of the greatest things ever, but I'm going to read it and be like, it's okay. Or if I do read it, I'll be like, yeah, that's a great scene. But it just seems like it's a different version of Batman, a darker version of Batman, and they remove his not wanting to kill anybody, so he's got a big knife, and remove his rich stuff. He's just some poor schlub who has honed his body up and takes on grotesque, different looking villains. Scott Snyder's the writer of it. He did decent stuff for Batman for a while, but just it seems like just kind of a meh sort of thing. But we'll see. It's the hottest comic book in the world right now, but okay. Ransom Canyon Season 2 arrives on July 23rd. We get a trailer for that. Client scientists that were fired by Doge have joined together and created their own website and released their climate change information that was deleted off of the government site, but they still had access to. So we have a true climate change website now that is not affiliated with the federal government, which is a corrupt piece of shit right now, who probably loves Heat Dome on them as well. First look at Aaron Taylor Johnson and Werewolf, which is going to be an interesting film set at Christmas. Well, it's not set. It's going to come out at Christmas time. It's a werewolf film set in the 13th century where they're going to speak in the Old English tongue. So, okay. The 2027 NFL Draft will be hosted by Washington, D.C. The April 29th through May 1st of 2027. The Paper Season 2, the spinoff of The Office, is set to get its new season to debut September 9th on Paramount. We got our first teaser for it. So continuing the weird stuff that's been happening with the tectonic plates and stuff like that. Alaska volcano with no known history of eruption is starting a magma is showing magma entrance. So it means that something's building in that thing that's never exploded before. And a new hot water fountain has opened up in Yellowstone as well. So a lot of stuff happening. So sorry about this. I always yawn when I do these shows. A Phantasm TV series in the works. Phantasm was a weird horror film from the 80s. That's a cult classic. The Hawk trailer, the Hook trailer or something like that. Regardless, is Will Ferrell's golf show. Got his first trailer for that. First trailer for the newest version of Sense and Sensibility. It's like the 5th or 6th version of it. Debuted. Samurai Jack may be coming to Fortnite. It's a decent looking skin if that's the one they decide to use. Madonna's biopic that she was writing and directing has been killed by the film distributor due to budget issues. Madonna was going over budget, and they were going to nip that in the bud, so we'll see what happens with that. Rashida Jones and Will McCormick are set to write a Tom and Jerry movie for the WB. La La Land style rom-com is what they're calling it now, so that's a unique group working on that movie. Excavation in Egypt has found entire embalming jars with labels of the exact stuff they use to embalm mummies that haven't been broken or anything like that, so they can tell exactly what they used to embalm the mummies. Live action Sea of Thieves, based on the video game, is set to be turned into a TV show or movie produced by Destin Daniel Cretton, who directed Shang-Chi and the new Spider-Man Brave New World. The Sheep Detectives has reached Prime on June 24th. I convinced one of my coworkers to watch it. She watches stuff while at work. She watched it and absolutely loved it. So if you have not seen it, it's now on streaming. Definitely check it out. I think you would like it a lot. Phansmophobia movie, also based on a video game, is getting going into production from Blumhouse. Trailer for Clara and the Sun, Taika Waititi's new drama comedy movie based on a Japanese novel starring Jenna Elfman and Amy Adams. It's basically AI meets Bicentennial Man, set to debut October 23rd. Olivia Rodrigo, who just appeared in Fortnite, is organizing and performing at an all-women's concert tour. The first concert is August 29th. Alley Cat's trailer was released this week. It's Alley Cat's coming out 8/7. It's animated, adult animated film. And Dad, a UK A24 drama is coming to television as well. Anniversaries, The Karate Kid, the original one, debuted 42 years ago this week. RoboCop 2 debuted 36 years ago this week. And the original Fast and the Furious debuted 25 years ago this week. Why am I always yawning when I do this show? I don't know. Death's Rock Purdon, which is a great name, passed away. He's a CFL, Canadian Football League player. Alan Greenspan, an economist who was a longtime head of the Federal Reserve, passed away at the age of 100. And Jill Smokler, founder of Scary Mommy, I don't know what that is, died at the age of 48. So she died at the age of 48, which was terrible. I already did that one. Boom. First look at Date, a dark fantasy, horror, twisted romance. No trailer yet, just some behind-the-scenes stuff. Rare lost shark was found off the coast of Madagascar, just chilling. This is kind of cool. Sprecher Brewery is going to be releasing 3 new root beer variants. Toasted marshmallow root beer, which sounds really, really good. Smoky maple root beer, which is interesting. And regular old-fashioned root beer all set to date. Actually, we're all set to come out on my birthday, 6/20, but I didn't hear about it until after my birthday, so that's why it's in today's show and not last week's show. RoboCop TV show with producer James Wan is set to start filming in January. I didn't know that one was out there, but that's cool because the RoboCop character design is one of the cleanest character designs out there, and I love it. First look at Prehistoria, a new WB animated film. WB released a bunch of animated films that they're going to be making this week, including sorry, I don't have that yet. Oh, Not Alone. No, that's not it. Margie Claus had debuted 2027. Oh, The Places You'll Go, the adaptation of the Dr. Seuss movies throughout 2028. Dynamic Duo, the Robin, Nightwing and Red Hood movie is set to come out 2028. Hello Kitty set to come out 2028, and Lunar set to come out 2028 as well. These are new WB animated films. Illumination is doing their first original film in a while. This one stars Timothy Chalamet and Selena Gomez, and it's called Not Alone, set to debut April 16th, 2027. Toy Story 5 broke a record with $312 million worldwide opening. Bad Fairies, the WB animated film starring Cynthia Erivo and Ncuti Gatwa, has cast Sarana Suling Bliss, James Acaster, and D. Bradley Baker in other voices in the movie coming out in 2027. Something that's not animated, Are We There Yet 3, Are They Gone Yet, which is the Ice Cube Nia Long family film that has done very well. It gets a third movie, can start working on that. Here's more animation. Sing 3 and Secret Life of Pets 3 is in the works for Illumination as well. Bob Odenkirk has directed and stars in a no-budget reimagining of Tommy Wiseau's The Room. Little Debbie Fudge Round cream pies are coming soon. A new Pokemon animated film, animations all over the place today. The Misadventures of Sir Fetch and Pikachu are set to come out in 2027. And the British Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, has resigned, so they're going to be getting a new one eventually. Anniversaries, there's a lot of them. Eraser, a terrible Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, debuted 30 years ago this week. Same day, Hunchback of Notre Dame debuted 30 years ago this week. I think that was one of those where I saw them back to back during my 51 movies 30 years ago. 1408 debuted 19 years ago this week. That's a great adaptation of the Stephen King novel with John Cusack in a starring role where he's basically the only character on screen. Samuel L. Jackson has a very quick cameo in it for the most part. One of the greatest animated live-action combos, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, debuted 38 years ago this week. Return to Oz, the really bizarre sequel to The Wizard of Oz, debuted 41 years ago this week. The Rocketeer, one of the best underrated movies out there based on a comic book, debuted 35 years ago this week. Minority Report with Steven Spielberg and Tom Cruise debuted 24 years ago this week. And the Anne Hathaway, Steve Carell, not Steve Carell, the other Steve, from the 40-year-old version. I can't think of his name right now. Starred in the new remake of the old Mel Brooks and produced show Get Smart. Deaths, Angie Armato, All-American Girls baseball player, passed away. And Clive Davis, a epic record producer, passed away this week. I think he was involved with the American Idol. Food delivery robot rolls through a SWAT team crime scene and just stops in the middle of the crime scene. Frances Conroy is joining the cast of American Horror Story for season 13. She's popped up in a couple other seasons of American Horror Story. The WB is set to release a Dark Shadows adult animated show. Another animation thing going on there. Pixar is going to be releasing a Finding Nemo short where Dory falls in love with a plastic bag thinking it's jellyfish. David Harbour and Millie Bobby Brown are set to play father and daughter again in a new Netflix spy series. Mel Brooks turns 100 years old today, June 27th. So happy birthday to you, good sir. Jose Monkey is a new reel I've been watching for a while. I've been thinking about sending him a video, but basically it's about you send this dude just a videotape of an area, and he has to, without any really telling signs, he has to figure out where it is, where you are, by using all kinds of techniques. It's a fun little quick, easy reel, and I just thought I'd bring it up because I thought it's fun. Some of my new things I've been watching now. A 5.8 earthquake hit Noda, Japan this weekend, as did a 4.8 hit Venezuela. So they just can't get a break. There are going to be some Christmas horror Funkos with Krampus in a Santa costume, Ghostface in a Santa costume, Gizmo in a Santa costume, and Stripe in a Santa costume. We're also getting Marvel superheroes for them in Santa costumes as well for the upcoming Christmas season. Halloween finds, I think I skipped that one. Yeah, Halloween stuff has been already discovered at some stores, including Pumpkin Spice Creamery for your coffee, Reese's Pumpkins, and Kit Kat Counts, which is the new Halloween costume for that, and some pumpkin spice cookies have all been spotted recently. So you get that on top of Christmas stuff going on. Each member of the Jackass cast were given a star through Star Registry, and they're all near to each other. So if you connect them in the sky with a line yourself, it forms a dick. I think it's hilarious. Can never go wrong with Arby's, and they are releasing their potato cakes directly to frozen food, so you can have them as well. If you like their potato cakes, you can now make them at home. They already have their curly fries also out in the same sort of at grocery store sort of bags. A dead endangered whale was found on the bow of a cruise ship coming from Alaska. Poor whale. Netflix has a Pride and Prejudice series in the works. Can't go on with Jane Austen, I guess. Chips Ahoy Toy Story Special Edition has a graham-flavored cookie, Candy Blast, a creamy white fudge chips, and star-shaped Sheriff Woody badges on the cookie itself. It and Annabelle screenwriter to write Five Nights at Freddy's 3. Tom Hardy set to drop a rap album. Okay. Charlie Harper trailer, didn't know much about that, didn't watch it. Supergirl made $13 million worldwide on Thursday, so that's a decent start. We had a first look at The Wrong Girls, directed by Dylan Myers with Kristen Stewart and Alia Shahet. It's a debut on August 14th. Anniversaries, The Phantom debuted 30 years ago this week. Unlawful Entry debuted 34 years ago this week. Labyrinth debuted 40 years ago this week. Deaths, Bob Winograd, hockey player. Gene Wiley, an NBA player. Doug Goldstein, longtime manager of Guns N' Roses, also died this week as well. All right, that's it for these papers. So I don't really have a lot left. I knew this was going to be another short one. Oh my God, I can't stop yawning. Excuse me. Stitch to get his own short. We already talked about Finding Nemo with Dory shorts. Stitch is to get his own short. That's going to debut before the Hext movie, which introduces Scratch, a pink kitten. Pool Rooms, which is an obvious creepypasta similar to Backrooms, is actually getting a movie and hoping to be as successful as Backrooms. That is releasing on Christmas. Rupert Grint is set to star in Nightburn, a horror film set to debut on Shudder on July 31st. Ghost Australia is coming after the success of Ghost British and Ghost America. Ghost Australia is coming soon. And I already talked about that. Death, Inga Hager, co-chair of the Shore Leave Convention, passed away. Anne Blythe, an actress, and Mildred Pierce and the Great Caruso, who only starred in like 3 or 4 movies and retired from Hollywood at the age of 30. And Suzanne Desrocker Romero died. She's the leader of the George Romero Estate and Foundation. The Democratic Republic of Congo and Cape Verde have advanced to the next level of the World Cup. Spice Girls Funko Pops are set to debut here soon. Your Mother, Your Mother, Your Mother, Marshall Ali film gets a new trailer. And our last story of the week, another tornado, another earthquake hits the Philippines this week as well. A 6.5 earthquake hits at that point. So that's it for today's episode. As I said, not a lot going on. Next week, it should probably be even less going on because it's July 4th week. I will probably be doing my show on July 4th, which I don't think I've done that before either. I might have done it. I think I've done it before, actually. But I will be officially doing my show on July 4th next weekend after we go to my Uncle Philip's house, which should be really entertaining because my daughter's boyfriend is going to meet more people of the family. So since they've been together now for years, time to start getting a little bit more real, which is cool. Let's hope it works out. You'll also have your review of Supergirl because I'm seeing that tomorrow. Actually, yeah, it's not even midnight yet. Review Supergirl, 4th of July. Oh, I will be doing my 4th of July memories like I did for my birthday last week. I'll be doing memories from 4th of July, so the show should be a little longer at that point. Heat dome bullshit. I am manifesting cold weather. Please, let's have cold weather. And hopefully my wife and son will be okay at camp. And any other movie reviews that I see that my daughter and I watch. Any other movie reviews? So I already got some stuff prepped for next week. Again, set to debut on July 4th next week. So episode 668 will be on 4th of July next week. Thanks for watching this week. That's all I got. Try to stay cool. This heat dome is going to be hitting in the Midwest first on Monday and making its way east by the end of the week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So if you're in the area, please stay hydrated, check on your loved ones, and just make sure that they are all okay. All right. Take care. Bye.